Player 4 Podcast's first t-shirt is now on sale at tpublic.com. Ever wonder what it takes to make a good podcast? We've already done the math for you and put it on a t-shirt. Visit our storefront at tpublic.com/user/P4podcast and get yours today. That's tpublic.com/user/P4podcast.
This is the Player 4 Podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community. Player 4 has entered the game. Welcome to the Player 4 Podcast. Sound off. Oh, I'm first. Hello, I am Tristan, aka Sarges on the Rooster Teeth website.
I am Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
And Malachi, aka Suki.
You get to say "and" this week.
No, he's never supposed to say "and."
Well, I guess to say "and" this week. Anyway. Yeah. I still like when he just cut off his entire... He cut half his sentence out so that he wouldn't say "and."
Last week.
Yeah. Malachi.
We don't have the Joseph thing because he's not feeling well, right?
I think so.
I don't remember what exactly it was, but he's not going to be with us.
Yeah, I've forgotten. Oh, he says he's been sick. Yep. Sick. Well, our schedule looks like this. We're going to relive vicariously with Malachi for Season 7 of Red vs. Blue. Then we're going to chit-chat a little bit about what we think of the continued progress of the new seasons, RWBY 14 and RWBY Chibi. And then we were going to go into some freeform discussion, because plans are for people who plan things. And that's like Joseph. That's not us here. So, Malachi.
We're the crazy kids that run around screaming all the time.
Before we start reliving vicariously, I just want to point out that we are hitting the halfway mark on reliving vicariously.
It's true.
Yes.
Season 7. He's almost caught up. Sort of.
He's halfway caught up.
He's halfway caught up. He's only missed 14 years of Red vs. Blue. Alright. Malachi, tell us. How did Season 6 end and flow into Season 14? And then give me a quick breakdown.
Wait, what? How did Season 6 end and flow into Season 14?
I don't know. That's pretty impressive. I would like to know how that happened. Alex, can you tell me?
No.
Good. Tell me how it goes into Season 6.
Could probably fit Season 14 into Season 6.
Could probably.
We had where the Reds are all back in Blood Gulch. Well, no, Valhalla?
Now they're in Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Who are they being chased around by?
The one's being chased around by anyone at the moment.
But is there someone else in Valhalla?
Caboose.
What's he doing in Valhalla?
He's at the base, and Sarge is sitting there trying to do psychological games on Caboose, which I thought was hilarious.
Did they work? Did he psych Caboose out?
No, I probably didn't even hear him. And then I like the comment when Sarge walks back and he starts talking to Griffin Simmons, and Simmons points out, it's like, there's just one of them. I don't think psychological warfare is going to work on him. And then Griff makes the comment about, well, why don't we just, we need to leave him alone so that we can prolong or stay here and get more weapons and equipment and stuff and all this other stuff. Get more, I think it was later they mentioned about getting more blues. But, Sarge actually...
You need more men. How long have you guys been down there?
Sarge actually complimented Griff. He didn't know what to say. He was like, wait, what? Because he said, good job.
Yeah. Good job, Griff. Thank you, sir.
Is that how I do that? So those three are in Valhalla, and then we go off to, Caboose comes in, he's all like, wait, did Donut come in first?
I hope they gave me Simmons' lips so I can finally learn how to kiss Sarge's ass.
So, all in all, they're in Valhalla. Donut stumbles into the blue base.
What's Caboose doing at all this time?
He's been telling stories to, which word is it? The
Larg?
Epsilon unit?
No, Epsilon. It's Epsilon. I was gonna say Eclipse or some other stupid Epsilon unit. So yeah, he's been telling stories to the Epsilon unit all this time about their misadventures and everything they've been doing.
Well, he does like the Epsilon.
And hasn't he been working on it too? Hasn't he been trying to like?
Well, he's been gathering rope. Oh, that's where he actually talked to the Reds. He was going back to the ship to get parts.
Mm-hmm.
And Caboose was talking about what was going on, and he was actually saying exactly what was supposed to be happening, and then they're saying that he's crazy. It's kind of funny that through this whole season, Caboose actually knows exactly what's going on, and he's saying exactly what's happening, but everyone's like, that's nonsense.
Yeah, it's a fan theory. Nobody likes it. Basically, he's giving a synopsis of the events to the Epsilon unit, and he's reading into the reasons behind why perfectly, even though they're not obvious to anybody else.
Mm-hmm. And some of them are a bit far-fetched, but a lot of it is spot on.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Donut stumbles in, saying that Tucker needs help in the desert, but he kind of passes out while trying to tell Caboose this. So they go, Caboose goes and actually gets the Reds to go with him to the desert.
Yeah. Help me out here, Alex. Was that map called Sandlot or something like that?
Oh God, I do not think it was called Sandlot. That's the baseball movie.
I know. That would be why it would be called that.
I don't know what it's called. It wasn't Sandlot, but I feel like it was some kind of name that was kind of I don't know if it was Sandstorm. I feel like the name would have like played off of how like kind of big it was.
There was a temple in it.
Because during that time, it was like back then, that was somewhat of a big map.
They all end up going to the desert.
It was called Sandbox.
Or
Sand Trap.
The Sand Trap's better. That's gotta be it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sarge.
Yeah, so Sarge goes back, leaves Lopez, Simmons behind. Donut still... I don't remember if they dragged Donut over. Donut was still unconscious in the blue base. So they left all three of them behind. They went... Griff, Sarge, and Caboose all go to the desert. Oh, a funny part before they actually head out. Simmons was working on the Jeep in the basement and the holo projector. And then he made a Sarge that comes up as ordering him around and then compliments him.
Yep. He gets his own little hologram bay. His own holodeck.
And Sarge comes down and starts spouting his crap, and then he's like, I like the other Sarge better.
Yeah.
and then he pops in a Griff to say something stupid.
Yep. He has them all programmed in. I loved it. So now that they're in the desert, Caboose goes to the desert with them, doesn't he?
Yes, with the Epsilon unit.
And he's doing something to that Epsilon unit.
Well, it leads up to when they get there, they find there's a bunch of people, or there's a group there scavenging to get into the temple that's there,
mm-hmm.
which they just can't get in. They're trying to be very discreet about it, not tell the three what's going on when they get there. When they're like, "Oh, we just need a radio," and so yeah, they're basically looking for a radio, and they're wandering around, which made the guy nervous.
Now,
and
wasn't there a helmet found in the sand at one point?
Negative.
No. Who was this guy that they were talking to?
Oh, he's dead.
Well,
Okay.
what's his name?
I don't remember.
I believe it was CT.
Yeah,
Yes, it was CT.
That's why there was a helmet found in the sand.
No, there isn't a helmet yet. They'll find that later.
Am I thinking of the next season?
Maybe.
Are they still in Sand Trap at the end of this season?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, at the very end of it, through the process of everything happening, they find out that Tucker has locked those guys out of the temple, and they're trying to get inside of it with a group of aliens that were working with them. And
why does Tucker not want them in the temple?
Because to find some ancient weapon, and he's just trying to be the good guy kind of thing. Just doesn't want them to get this big weapon to cause mayhem.
I see. Has he got the sword at this point?
Yeah, he's had the sword, and that's what's giving him an advantage, because when those guys were being assaulted by the group that was trying to excavate the place, he came out and started offing people and shooting and got Sarge, Griff, and Caboose into the temple and locked the door behind them.
Wow, they actually fought and won.
Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
Swish stab, man.
In that process, the Epsilon unit, Caboose didn't listen. Tucker told him not to touch things, and he took the Epsilon unit around and ended up loading him into a floating orb AI robot thing. So now Epsilon can talk and move around.
Yes,
and took on Church's persona.
He found a way to transfer the data out of the Epsilon unit into the monitor.
Mm-hmm.
So now Epsilon's in a monitor.
Now he's laser.
Yeah.
I don't think we've gotten to experience the laser face yet.
In the season we do, he does it at the very... Well, they were talking about things that he would be able to do. And that actually is funny. At first he tried to unlock his memories, which then Griff realized that wasn't a good idea, because they had... Was it Griff or... One of the other guys realized that wasn't a good idea, because they knew that all the terrible things that happened to the AI. So it was like... I want to say it was Griff. It was either Griff or Tucker.
Okay, Griff.
But, so... In the process, he finds out that he has a laser, and then he tries to figure out how to unlock it, and he actually shuts off his short-term memory.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite back and forth.
So he couldn't remember who any of them was?
Yeah. Or anything that they were talking about. It's like, were you trying to unlock your laser? Wait, I have a laser? You were just trying to do that when you showed up your short-term memory. Wait, what? What did I do?
He's like, shut off my short-term memory. You turn it off? Turn what off? Your
short-term memory. Wait, I have a laser?
What I do is short-term memory. You turn it off. Turn what off? Short-term memory.
There you go. Oh my goodness. Yes, so, I love Epsilon being in the monitor. That's some of my favorite scenes are with Epsilon in the monitor.
The best.
Okay, except for that one.
So during all of this, while this was happening,
and that happens between seasons,
we have an old friend that stopped over to Valhalla.
Oh. Who is the friend?
The Meta.
No, isn't like Donut and Simmons in Valhalla?
Yes.
And Lopez?
And I forgot why Simmons wanted to get to the desert to try to get Sarge and them back. And I love the shenanigans with Lopez and Simmons. They actually did a lot of crazy things. Well, you made 2. Who's the other one for? Because it's like, I made 2 because you guys always end up breaking them somehow. The other one's mine.
You can't drive it.
Simmons drives 2 feet and it blows up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this.
I'm just gonna take this.
The next season has some of my favorite interactions between Washington and Donut. Not Donut, Dufresne. It was a D name.
You mean Doc?
Still a D name.
So yeah, Lopez keep putting words up. He's like, I didn't freaking say that.
Stop translating for me. Stop translating for me when you don't know what I'm saying.
But he actually, at the end of that, when Washington showed up, freaking Donut actually translated it properly. He's like, wait, why did you get that right? And nothing else.
Madre de Dios.
Yeah, it was when Simmons was trying to turn the turret to shoot the Meta, and Lopez said, it's like, maybe we could trick the Meta into walking in front of it.
Wasn't it, like, jammed so he couldn't turn it, or something like that?
I don't know. Something. I think it was either because the vehicle wasn't on, it doesn't turn.
Well, that might have been
a lot of strength. You need a lot of strength to move it. So... so they were dealing with the Meta there. They were trying to deal with his cloaking and sneaking around and just back and forth between Lopez, Simmons, and Donut, them trying to understand him and putting words in his mouth and trying to get a vehicle to go to where Sarge and the others were.
Nobody ever tries to understand the Meta.
Yeah. So
I just like his heavy breathing.
His growling.
Yeah, he just growls at people.
And so the meta was going up to those guys when they were at the Jeep, and Washington shows up and tells them to stand down, and we're like, oh, well, you know what's going on here.
Oh,
like,
no.
You teamed up with the meta?
Oh, no. Washington's with the meta now?
Yeah. Well, we heard about that before, because he was in the detention center where I think it is the actual original church. Well, no, the director. What was the director name? The voice that was...
The director church?
It was not the director.
Oh, was he with the chairman?
Who's the voice?
It was the chairman.
Chairman
Hargrove.
So he was... he told them that he knows where the Epsilon unit is, and the chairman didn't believe him, but he convinced him, yes, I can get it back, so that's why him and the meta are out there. They're going after the Epsilon. And Washington actually shot...
I like the counselor.
Lopez is down.
No, Lopez! He didn't get his head shot off again, did he?
Well, no, he got his head shot, period.
Yeah, headshot!
But actually, luckily, he actually made backups beforehand.
See, someone smart, unlike me.
And Donut also got shot. And that's where those three were left off, was the meta, Washington, and Simmons being the only ones standing there at the end in Valhalla.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah, that was a major cliffhanger.
Yeah, well, and Washington said, he was talking, he's like, well, how are you going to get the Epsilon unit? And he's like, well, I have a chance to, be done with this. He's like, I'm not going to ask.
Memory is the key.
Yeah, so he's just going to go and guns blazing and take everyone out to get the Epsilon unit.
Oh.
And just before that was the very, very, very end. And just before that, there was a flashback between, because it hops back and forth between the two instances. And at the very end, the sandbox, or the sand trap place, with the shenanigans that was happening with the church monitor, the excavators guys broke in, and we actually realized that the aliens worship this ancient technology, because as they were coming in, and church came out, the one kneeled down and bowed to him, and they ended up, the CT came in and they actually shot church to try to take him, and then the aliens didn't like that and turned on them.
What happened to CT?
He got out. He actually got church and was able to sprint out, and the aliens, CT, and the group all were chasing down church. That was in CT's vehicle. And we got to see the different vehicles in Halo 3 all being used. Is it like a railgun or something that keeps stalling the one car? And I don't know what that other thing was the aliens were driving. And then there was the giant one-wheeled, front wheel thing that Tucker was driving. This is like the aliens gave us to. They show you how to drive it? No, we skipped that part.
Why are there only 4 pedals when there are 6 directions?
Yeah, and so then
were they driving that giant behemoth around?
The thing that had the vehicles on it.
The big thing.
The four-wheelers.
Yeah.
They did that only for a second. Just before they went into the temple. It was during the crossfire, before the group got into the temple with Tucker. And so at the very end, Tucker went after CT, and CT had him cornered on the ledge of the temple above. And that's when Church shot CT with his laser.
Ooh, what a way to go.
Yeah, so everyone's up there on top of the temple, and the aliens are coming out on the lower half of the map.
Church has laser face.
Yes. It's like, I don't know how I did it. I just getting angry. It's like, do it again. Aim for or the yellow one.
Yeah.
And then they start trying to make him mad. It's just like, now he's just depressed.
I might create a blue laser. I hope we don't find out what makes a brown laser. That might not be till the next season, though.
I think it would be.
Well, because I know that this is not the scene where they were all trying to make Church angry. That's not till the next season.
Because they were just saying, Griff was like, I don't have a good feeling about this. And then someone else said along the same lines. But so that's pretty much season 7.
All right. So Washington and the Meta team up to try and take the Epsilon unit, and they kidnap Donut and Simmons. And Sarge, Tucker, Caboose, Epsilon are in the desert. Caboose puts Epsilon into the monitor. Oh yes, and Griff. And then they all get assailed by alien zealots who help them fight off the people who are trying to take the alien technology from them. All right, cool. There you go.
We have that TLDR, so we can cut all that just out.
Good, done. I'm just trying to make sure that I understand everything that's going on. So now you have a TLDR, or is it a TLDL?
I have no idea.
It's too long. Didn't language.
Didn't listen. Yeah.
Didn't language.
Didn't like. Shut up. Alright, so I wanted to take a couple of minutes here to just quickly talk about RWBY 14 and RWBY Chibi progress, since Alex and I have been watching those. Actually, I've been enjoying RWBY 14 a lot. For me, it's been the backstories of the Blood Gulchers, the Reds and Blues, how they got assigned to Blood Gulch's Outpost Alpha and 1, and that's just been kind of a lot of fun to go back and see their origins, their awkwardness before they were awkward, and
what do you mean? They were still awkward.
Well, that's what I mean. See how little, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, we got to see the process of how they were actually chosen. To be why these are the specifications they were looking for in choosing these people to be in Blood Gulch.
Simmons and Griff get that one guy killed. He died valiantly.
He died a hero. But before he died, he said that
Simmons
we should take 2 weeks vacation. So I think we should honor his dying wish. And Griff called Simmons Simons.
Simons. He's Dutch-Irish. It's like when they were on the high wire up there. He's like, I'm not going around him. I'm not going to fall to my death. So we're just going to stay here. And then
dude, stick together. We got it made.
Bang! Dare you abandon the pact?
And then we got to see Sarge.
50 Shades of Red. They were all Sarge.
Yeah, we actually got to see 7 Sarges. 7 or 8 Sarges.
They all had basically the same personality. I just love the scene where he says, "Are you willing to die for this army? Of course I am! Prove it! Bang! Man, I thought he would call my bluff."
My name's Sarge. Wait, is that serious?
My dad always said that I should dress for the job that I want. I just took it a step further.
And then when they were talking about killing the Blues, I liked how they would all cheer, and then at the end of the cheer, they're very quietly there'd be someone in the background saying something else, like 6 to 12. Or they'd be dead,
exceptionally dead. No, that was a great episode. RWBY Chibi. Still kind of funny. They always throw a scene in there where I just don't really get it at first.
So, what are some of these scenes?
There was, it made sense once I got to the end of the scene, but the build-up was really odd to me. The scene, I think it was in the third episode, where they're all sitting on the couch watching the TV, and on the news they're talking about a cat burglar in Vale, and everybody.
That's the first episode of the second, or that's the second episode.
Second episode. Okay, well that one was really. It had a really awkward period of silence in there, where I did not understand where they were going with the joke. She gets on her soapbox talking about profiling and everything. And I'm like, okay, so moral life lessons here. And then she runs out the door and steals Yang's motorcycle. And I'm like, okay, so the payoff was good, but the build-up just felt slow and awkward. And it kind of reminded me of the scene where, in the first episode, when Ruby came back with Blake's book and called it filth. it was like...
But then said, later!
Yeah. It was like, it went in a really weird direction, and they saved it by the end, but it still had that really awkward middle.
I can see where you're coming from. When I first watched it, I too was like, it's like at the end of it, it's like, okay, there's a little decent payoff, but maybe the road to that payoff might have been done a little better than what they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I know what you're saying, because I too had mixed thoughts on that when I first watched it.
I mean, overall, I'm enjoying it enough to keep watching it. That's certain. It's just there are some jokes that they do fairly well, but then there are others where they have a weird middle. They have a weird middle where the payoff is okay. Sometimes the payoff is actually really good, but there's a real slow drag in the build-up, and you're sitting there wondering, where is this going? Why is this? What's going on? So, I have mixed feelings on RWBY Chibi still. I think that there are some fun things they do, for certain, though.
Now, how did you like the one from this well, not episode 4, because that's technically the last episode, but I haven't seen it yet. Episode 3, the build-up with Jean on the phone.
calling Weiss over and over. I thought that when you put it in the perspective of when the RWBY Chibi miniseries is supposed to be taking place, it made a lot of sense. Coming at when you first start watching it, if you don't bear in mind when in the storyline it takes place, it is a little weird. Because you're like, why is he still after Weiss at this point? I mean, doesn't he know that that's not a path he should be going on? And you go, okay, now wait, this is still season 2 that this miniseries is taking place during, so it made a lot more sense. And I did think that his reaction at the end when somebody found Weiss's phone was perfect.
I'm wondering, so we've been through, I don't know, have you seen episode 4 yet?
I believe so. What was the first sketch? Oh wait, you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. I'm asking you, because so far, after the first 3 episodes, we've only seen the 4 girls and Jean.
Yeah. No, they really haven't gone into the other teams.
Yes, they haven't gone into the other teams.
We haven't seen
I'm sure a lot of people are waiting for Nora to pop up somewhere.
Yeah.
And Pira.
I mean, because it is season 2, so all those people should be hanging around the school just like them.
Have they actually come out and said to you?
Yeah, they said that before the thing started. They declared when in the timeline these were all set. Okay. I mean, not that they're canon at all. They're just supposed to be silly little side things. But timeline wise, this would be during season 2.
Kind of like I wonder what they.
I just didn't know if it was like. Yeah, I didn't know if it was season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, let's see. I did watch the 4th episode. Episode 4 had a lot of jokes about Zvi and Blake. Like,
Malachi,
several jokes about Zvi.
Have you seen any of the RWBY Chibi?
Negatory.
You're too busy trying to relive vicariously for us.
And failing miserably, but yes.
They did have, there was one sketch that I really appreciated where it showed people using their semblances and dust for, like, everyday things, and making other people jealous of it.
Isn't that stuff rare and hard to come by? They're using it nonchalantly.
Well, it can be expensive, but it's not so rare.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's rare if there are...
Dust shops?
If everyone,
true.
Yeah, there's dust shops and everyone, they use that for their ammo and for their magic, so...
It's just expensive.
Yeah, there are a lot of Blake cat jokes going on in episode 4.
Oh, she's a cat.
So she's still hiding from Zvi?
There's a lot of, there are a few... I remembered episode 3 had a lot of Zvi.
I thought it only had 3, only had...
I watched them all at once, so now I can't remember which one's which.
Wasn't he only in the one where Blake was hiding in the refrigerator in episode 3?
Was that it?
The freezer?
Well, I just know the first sketch you see Blake getting dragged away by Zvi.
Well, that's probably episode 4 you're talking about.
That is episode 4. in the first sketch.
Yeah, episode 3 was just one. So episode 4 has a lot of Zwei and Blake. Right?
No, I'm looking at it right now. I only see Zwei the one time, so it must have been... I felt like I saw a lot of Zwei. I watched them all today, again, to refresh myself. But because I watched them all one after another, I couldn't remember where one episode ended and another one began. So, I don't know which episode's which anymore. So now I'm looking at 4, and I only see one Zwei. So that saddens me that I'm getting all mixed around. Well, Zwei was in episode 2. That was the first time he appeared, right?
Yeah, that was the one that Blake hid behind, like, was it like
a lamp in the corner?
Yeah, a floor lamp.
Yeah. Yeah, there was only one Zwei sketch in 4. I guess there's only been one in each, then. I thought I remembered more than that. But okay. Yeah, there was just the one. Blake Cat.
So, that was RWBY 14 and RWBY Chibi.
Cool.
I think we're enjoying it so far. We're enjoying both of them so far. God, so far, yeah.
English, man, English it.
So far.
Put a little English on it.
Camp
hasn't come out yet, has it?
Approaching, though, as they released the trailer for it. And I believe it comes out here in June, I think. I can't remember what the trailer said, but I believe it said June.
I just got an email today about Camp artwork. Concept artwork.
Yeah, I got that too. And I think they were moving their schedule because of like all these shows coming out. They were moving other shows around. But I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to go into that. Then, on our front, what have we got coming on our front, Tristan?
We have episode 14 of P4 Craft coming out, where the Player 4 podcast gets together and does silly things in Minecraft. And this episode is the third, I believe, in a series of 4, during which the group is engaged in a scavenger hunt that I set up for them. So, in the last couple episodes, everybody had to solve some riddles and figure out what the item was and then gather it. And then in the next couple episodes, they're going to be using those items to solve a problem or a puzzle.
Yes, we had so much fun with this one.
I hear sarcasm.
It's like half legitimate, half sarcastic. Because there were definitely some funny parts in there, and other parts that we were just, God!
But Alex is like, all the time, so I can't really gauge based on that.
No, yeah, during that time, I was just pissed. That's it.
It's afterwards. Why.
It's afterwards that I realize the craziness of it, and then I enjoy it.
We gotta find a way to make you realize the craziness before the pissed off gets there.
No, that's past Alex's problem.
That's past Alex's problem? Yeah, but it's always my problem.
That's future Tristan's problem. Past Alex's problem.
Past Alex is a future Tristan's gonna have a hard life. And then we remind everybody that we're having a panel at RTX this year. Come and join the Player 4 podcast live on stage? I don't know. Live behind a table at RTX 2016. We're going to be Friday, 3:30 in the ACC.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Saturday at 3:30 in meeting room 4 of the ACC.
I only had one piece of information wrong, which...
I mean, who knows? I haven't checked the schedule recently, like, for a week, so they may have changed it, but I think it's still Saturday.
Okay. Everything's...
Should we call, from now on, if we have a panel at RTX, should we call it that, Player 4 Podcast Live?
Player 4 Podcast Live. Everything just gets live stapled onto the end of it.
P4 Live.
P4 in the flesh, but flesh will be spelled with a 4 instead of an F.
No.
P4 in the flesh, too. The fleshening.
The fleshening.
P4 streaming.
P-streams.
P-streams. Gosh, why did Joseph go in?
I don't know. Joseph's not fun.
Let's play? Kind of like live Let's Play?
Let's pee together?
Let's pee. Let's pee.
Alright, go. I'm winning.
You guys terrible.
Yes, we are. I think that probably means that we're done here.
Yeah, we're getting dirty.
Down and dirty in the P-ness. P4.
Yes, we know that you want to know all that we're going to do for the panel, but we have to keep some surprise going. So this week we don't give you any tidbits. Perhaps next week, when Joseph is back,
Joseph's the king of tidbits.
Feed some more information. We'll see.
Oh, come on. It should all be a surprise. Go to RTX and... Tease it. Alright, give me a good take.
Goodbye.
Thank you.